Venus is opposing Pluto. And this is just indicative of manipulation. It as well as signifies intense relationships or a relationship that intensifies.
Mm, mm. Yeah, I often see this as kind of jealousy, possessiveness, all those kind of darker themes of
Of course.
relationships, obsession, which, can be, particularly if you kind of, that can be very alluring, but, it depends, as long as it stays within your realm of acceptable. Once it kind of gets beyond that, it's kind of like, yeah, no. So, yeah.
Yeah, we're not doing this.
Yeah, depth, honesty, transformation. It's interesting that not long after this, Pluto is going to duck back into Capricorn. Venus is going to, she's kind of entered the sign where she's going to retrograde. So, there's going to be a reevaluation. I'm just kind of thinking, particularly, if you start a relationship at this time, even though it's outside even the shadow period of retrograde, it could be intense, and that can be fantastic, but damn, that can be exhausting. And then, you've got this whole retrograde period where both of you are kind of, reevaluating, and yeah. And then we've got Mars. It's not super close to that Venus, but yeah, this could be a very interesting day. I mean, Jupiter's at 4 degrees Taurus. It's squaring it. It's not super close, but we're not beyond all those tensions. It's just like we swapped out Mars for Venus, really. Jupiter is still there. It is 4 degrees away, but still close. But I think I'd rather deal with that Venus squared Jupiter than Mars squared Jupiter.
Exactly.
Mm, mm. Yeah, this could be intense. Uh, yeah.
It could be, but with the aspect with Pluto, be careful of getting into situations where you can be manipulated or
Yeah.
overpowered, as well as power struggles
Mm. This is
in
also
business. I mean,
mm,
it's all that energy.
this is depth and honesty and transformation. Yeah, because I mean, even opening yourself up and being vulnerable can feel very scary for a lot of people. So, and a lot of people don't like intensity.
A
Even
lot
if,
of people feel uncomfortable with it.
yeah, even if this is kind of something you see come along and you're like, well, yeah, this is good. Your partner or partners may not enjoy that as much and may get a lot of kickback for it. So,
Whenever these planets, so Venus is going to move into a new sign on June 5th. So, be sure to journal, because what these transits do, if you can figure out, and the reason I say journal, it's either that you can either journal by writing or journal by taking pictures. But whatever you're doing, you can always go back to that and go, what was I doing back then? What did this mean? And it clearly shows you what these transits and how they manifest in your life. And if they tend to typically always go good, then they're typically going to always go good. If they typically go, south on you, then to shore up your support, and know that this is going to be a rough transit. I mean, even though people don't typically always have a headache, but when you do, you go for the aspirin, the breath of fresh air, whatever it does, a nap, whatever it does to get rid of the headache. So you just know what you need to have in your arsenal behind you when these challenging things happen. So just kind
yeah.
of be aware of them.
Hmm.
You can overcome them.
Yeah, though, I mean, last time Venus was in Leo, we wouldn't have had Pluto opposite either. So,
No, this
yeah.
would be a little bit more intense than that.
Mind you, Pluto's going to move backwards